abominably. They never dream of doing what they're told." Minnie Lawson murmured, "Mrs. Tanios is a very devoted mother." Miss Arundel said with grave approval, "Bella is a good woman." Miss Lawson sighed and said, "It must be very hard for her sometimes, living in an outlandish place like Smyrna." Emily Arundel replied, "She has made her bed, and she must lie on it." And having uttered this final Victorian pronouncement, she went on, "I'm going to the village now to speak about the orders for the weekend." "Oh, Miss Arundel, do let me. I mean—" "Nonsense. I prefer to go myself. Rogers needs a sharp word. The trouble with you is, Minnie, that you're not emphatic enough. Bob? Bob? Where is the dog?" A wire-haired terrier came tearing down the stairs. He circled round and round his mistress, uttering short staccato barks of delight and expectation. Together, mistress and dog passed out of the front door and down the short path to the gate. Miss Lawson stood in the doorway, smiling rather foolishly after them, her mouth a little open. Behind her a voice said tartly, "Them pillow-cases you gave me, miss, isn't a pair." "What? Oh, how stupid of me." Minnie Lawson plunged once more into household routine. Emily Arundel, attended by Bob, made a royal progress down the main street of Market Basing. It was very much of a royal progress. In each shop she entered, the proprietor always hurried forward to attend to her. She was Miss Arundel of Little Green House. She was one of our oldest customers. She was one of the old school. Not many about like her nowadays. "Good morning, miss. What can I have the pleasure of doing for you? Not tender? Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. I thought myself it was quite a nice little saddle." "Yes, of course, Miss Arundel. If you say so, it is so. No, indeed, I wouldn't think of sending Canterbury to you, Miss Arundel. Yes, I'll see to it myself, Miss Arundel." Bob and Spot, the butcher's dog, circled slowly round each other, hackles raised, growling gently. Spot was a stout dog of nondescript breed. He knew that he must not fight with customers' dogs, but he permitted himself to tell them, by subtle indication, just exactly what mincemeat he would make of them, were he free to do so. Bob, a dog of spirit, replied in kind. Emily Arundel said, "Bob," sharply, and passed on. In the greengrocer's there was a meeting of heavenly bodies. Another old lady, spherical in outline but equally distinguished by that air of royalty, said, "Morning, Emily." "Good morning, Caroline." Caroline Peabody said, "Expecting any of your young people down?" "Yes, all of them. Teresa, Charles, and Bella." "So, Bella's home, is she? Husband too?" "Yes." It was a simple monosyllable, but underlying it was knowledge common to both ladies. For Bella Biggs, Emily Arundel's niece, had married a Greek, and Emily Arundel's people, who were what is known as all-service people, simply did not marry Greeks. By way of being obscurely comforting, for of course such a matter could not be referred to openly, Miss Peabody said, "Bella's husband's got brains, and charming manners." "His manners are delightful," agreed Miss Arundel. Moving out into the street, Miss Peabody asked, "What's this about Teresa being engaged to young Donaldson?" Miss Arundel shrugged her shoulders. "Young people are so casual nowadays. I'm afraid it will have to be a rather long engagement. That is, if anything comes of it. He has no money." "Of course Teresa has her own money," said Miss Peabody. Miss Arundel said stiffly, "A man could not possibly wish to live on his wife's money." Miss Peabody gave a rich, throaty chuckle. "They don't seem to mind doing it nowadays. You and I are out of date, Emily. What I can't understand is what the child sees in him. Of all the namby-pamby young men, he's a clever doctor, I believe. Those pince-nez and that stiff way of talking. In my young days we'd have called him a poor stick." There was a pause while Miss Peabody's memory, diving into the past, conjured up visions of dashing, bewhiskered young men. She said with a sigh, "Send that young dog Charles along to see me if he'll come." "Of course, I'll tell him." The two ladies parted. They had known each other for considerably over 50 years. Miss Peabody knew of certain regrettable lapses in the life of General Arundel, Emily's father. She knew just precisely what a shock Thomas Arundel's marriage had been to his sisters. She had a very shrewd idea of certain troubles connected with the younger generation. But no word ever passed between the two ladies on any of these subjects. They were both upholders of family dignity, family solidarity, and complete reticence on family matters.